So, is this your first year at ThrillerFest?
This, I think, is my fourth or fifth. I've lost count now. This is my favorite conference for sure.
Oh, cool.
Any excuse to come to New York.
Yeah, because you're from Toronto, right?
Yeah, Toronto originally. I'm living in Seattle, and I just love coming to New York for the food and the books.
And tell us about your books. You have several psychological thrillers out.
Yes, so my first two are Creep and Freak, and
I love those titles. I love just the one word, one syllable.
5 letters. Yeah, so those are my first two. They came out in 2011 and 2012. And The Butcher is my first standalone. It comes out on Tuesday, the 15th of July.
That's exciting.
I'm really excited about it. It's my first standalone. It's a psychological thriller about a retired police chief who has a lot of secrets. And turns out that a serial killer from the 80s who we thought was dead actually isn't and is back in a really big way. So it was a lot of fun to write.
And where do you get your ideas from? Do you read the newspaper and sort of get inspired that way? How did you get the idea for this?
I am really inspired by true crime. So I read a lot of newspapers. I follow serial killers and weird killings and things like that. And it's a weird thing to be inspired by, but usually there's a jumping off point somewhere in there for a story. And The Butcher, I'm not exactly sure what inspired him, but he's an old villain. So my character in the book is 80 years old, and I wanted to know what would happen if he was 80 and still a serial killer. What challenges would he have? Would he still kill the same way as he did when he was in his 40s or 30s? So, and I love old people. So I like writing about old people. So
we have a lot of stories to tell.
They're wise, and their brains are, hopefully still sharp, but their bodies aren't. And so it's a whole different way of looking at the world, I think. And so I wanted to explore that.
How did you do any unusual research for this book? Did you go to nursing homes and speak with the elderly?
I actually, for a year, lived in a building that was mostly seniors. And so my next door neighbor, who was 90 at the time, I think he's passed away now. I lived next door to him, and I had a really good sense of what his life was like day to day. He smoked cherry-flavored cigars. He watched episodes of MASH really loud. He had a home nurse that would come every day to help, clean him up and all that stuff. And everyone in my building, for some reason, was like 80 or older. And so living around them, but polite and respectful, and it was a nice place to live. And so it definitely was an inspiration for writing The Butcher.
And so what goes through your head when you have a book coming out so soon and maybe in less than a week? Do you get nervous, or do you can't wait for the day to come? What goes through your head?
It's there's excitement, but it's mostly really scary. The reviews are coming in and people are talking about it, and it's a thrilling time, and it happens once a year, once every 2 years for me. But it's scary, you worry about it. It's all your heart and soul and creative juice in that, and you want it to do well. So right now I'm kind of on pins and needles, hoping it does well.
Yeah. Oh, well, good luck. I'm sure it will.
Thank you.